Good morning to one. So now I am going to discuss the fifth unit of the course Sequence Systems. Myself Amarnath Sharma, SAGE from Faculty of EC Department, PBR WITS. So the fifth unit is Laplace transform and jet transform. It consisting of two transform functions. One is Laplace transform, other one is jet transform. Laplace transform is the transformation tool that is applicable on continuous time signals, whereas jet transform is the transform tool that is applicable on discrete functions. By transforming a function or signal, it will give the spectral form, that is the frequency domain representation will be used. Laplace transform is complex frequency domain representation. Jet transform is also a frequency domain representation of the sequence. First we will discuss the Laplace transform. Okay. So Laplace transform. Introduction. So Laplace transforms are used to analyze the continuous time signals. So Laplace transform can be applicable for the absolutely integrable signal, can be applicable for those functions which are not absolutely integrable. For example, Fourier transform is the tool that is applicable only for the functions which are absolutely integrable, but using Laplace transform it is very convenient to apply the on the absolutely unintegrable segments also. So the definition of Laplace transform is given by x of s is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus st dt, where s is a complex variable and it is given by sigma plus j omega, where sigma is the real part and j omega is the imaginary part. So it is a complex representation of the sequence. Okay. So this inverse Laplace transform is defined as 1 by 2 pi j integral minus sigma, so sigma minus j infinity to sigma plus j infinity into x of s e power minus st dx. So this is integral formula. This formula is usually we will not use to calculate the inverse Laplace transform, but we will use long division methods or reverse method. So we are converting the signal into standard form and then we will estimate the Laplace transform. So like that we will calculate the functions, that is inverse Laplace transform. So here we are not going to be we are not that by formula. This is the definition of inverse Laplace transform. The Laplace transform pair is finally given by x of t is Laplace transform pair with x of s like this. So x of t, x of s implies over that we write NP Laplace transform. That is x of t is Laplace transform of x of s is Laplace transform of x of t, and x of t is inverse Laplace transform of x of s. One can possible to find from another one. That is the Laplace transform of x of t is x of this is the notation what we usually use to represent a Laplace transform of the function. So relation between Laplace transform and Fourier transform. So both are transformation tools and both are applicable for continuous time signals. So then what is the relation between them? So Laplace transform can be obtained by just replacing j omega with s. In Fourier transform, if you replace j omega with s, you will get Laplace transform. So x of s equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt, which is known as x of omega. So where s is sigma plus j omega. Then if you substitute s equal to sigma plus j omega, so you can rewrite the same integral as e power minus sigma t into x of t. E power minus sigma t is real component x of t. So this is the Fourier transform. So Laplace transform is the Fourier transform of e power minus sigma t into x of t. So you please keep that in mind. So if you replace s with j omega, you will get the Laplace transform. So you will get the Fourier transform from Laplace transform. Okay. So here a special concept called region of convergence will give this Laplace transform is more practical. So what is this region of convergence? The region of convergence is the value or values of the variable complex variable, the values of complex variable s for which the given function converges is known as region of convergence. So what is this consisting of? That is called a region of convergence. Okay, so that is the poles and zeros. So any Laplace transform function can be represented in this form. that is x of s is equal to numerator by denominator. Numerator is the function of s and denominator is the function of s. The numerator is the polynomial of m to r data, denominator is the polynomial of s data. So we are having polynomial means definitely we are having roots. So numerator and denominator can be represented in a roots form like this: s minus z1 minus into s minus z2 into s minus z3 and so on. We are having m, because m is the order, we are having n number of roots. Similarly here n is the order, we are having n number of roots. The roots of numerator polynomial is known as zeros. Similarly, the roots of denominator polynomial is known as poles. So the poles and roots defines the stability of the system. They are having very unique importance. The zeros, if you improve the zeros, we have some modification in its passband or characteristics. That is, you will get some oscillations in the characteristics. If you improve number of poles, you will get more stability. Like that, they are having unique applications. So we will discuss in higher courses. Not in this course, we are not going to deal about in detail, but we will get the things in higher courses like control systems and other filter designs. That is micro filter designs like that. Okay, poles, generally the properties, if you see, the poles lies outside the ROC, that is ROC does not contain any poles, whereas zeros lies inside the ROC. The zeros are always considered inside the ROC consisting of zeros. The poles are represented by a mark called into cross mark, and the zeros are represented by O0 on S-plane. S-plane is a on S-plane. S-plane is a plane which is defined which is something which is plotted like this. It is having real axis. This is real axis and this is imaginary axis. Real versus imaginary axis. Suppose this is called S-plane. Poles are represented by like this, intos, and zeros are represented by 0. Like that, they are usually represented. The properties of ROC. First, as I told that ROC does not contain any poles, and if x of t is finite duration, then ROC is entire S-plane except s equal to 0 and s equal to infinity. S equal to 0 and s equal to infinity does not, but apart of that, entire signal will be. And next, if ROC is right side signal, then its ROC is right side of rightmost pole. So it requires some theory. So what is meant by right side signal? Suppose if any function is multiplied by unit step function u of t function, then such signals are noted as a right sided signals. For such signals, the ROC is always right side of rightmost pole. For example, if we are having a function like this, suppose if I got a function x of s equal to 1 by s plus 2 into s plus 3. So if I am having a function like this, so this function is having poles at s equal to -2, and if you equate denominator equal to 0, if denominator pole roots equal to 0, then we are having, so from this s equal to -2, one pole will be there, and s equal to -3, another pole will be there. So on S-plane, sigma, and this is j omega. S equal to -2, s equal to -3, s equal to -3, s equal to -2. We are having two poles. Then ROC is, because if it is a right side signal, the original function is multiplied by u of t. If it is multiplying by u of t, then the ROC is right side of rightmost pole. So we are having two poles. This is rightmost pole. So the ROC starts from this, and this is the ROC, the existence of the function. Similarly, if the x of t is left sided signal, that is, if it is multiplied by u of -t, that is called left side signal. If the function is multiplied by u of minus t, then such signals are left side signal. For such signals, the ROC is left side of leftmost pole. That means in this example, it is having two poles. One is at minus 3 and one is at minus 2. In this case, the ROC is left side of leftmost pole. Remember, the ROC does not contain any pole. That's why the boundaries are in these poles. Okay, so if x of t is right side signal, then the ROC is right side of rightmost pole. Similarly, if the ROC is left sided signal, then the ROC is left side of leftmost pole. If it is a two-sided signal, then the ROC form strips in between it exists. Okay, example, look at this example. X of t is equal to 2s plus 4 by s square plus 4s plus 3. So you can write this as 2 into s plus 4 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 3. So s equal to minus 1 pole, s equal to minus 3 1 pole, and the denominator s plus 2 equal to 0. So if you try to represent the pole and zero plot by using this example, so let us take, so this is our S plane sigma, and this is 0. This is our S plane. So we are having a pole at s equal to minus 1. So this is a pole. We are having a pole at s equal to, this is a pole at minus 1, and we are having a pole at minus 3. And we are having 0 at s equal to minus 2. This is 0. So like that, we have to represent the pole 0 plot. So if it is a right-sided function, then its ROC is the right side of rightmost pole. That is, the ROC is greater than minus 1. So then the ROC could be like this. So the ROC will start from here. If it is a right side signal, the ROC is the right side of rightmost pole. If it is a left side signal, then the ROC is left side of leftmost signal, suppose. So like that, you will easily identify the ROC based on the function. But without knowing whether it is left side, right side, you cannot predict the ROC. The question must be cluster clear, whether it is a right side signal or a left side signal. Okay, if it is given like that and s is greater than 0, then it is right side. If s is less than 0, it is left side signal. That also you can easily identify. So like that, you can solve the problems. RE is greater than minus 1. So RE is greater than minus 1 is, it is a right sided signal. Okay. If RE is less than minus 1, minus 1, it is undefined, because minus 3 is part of this one. So the ROC does not exist. So the inverse Laplace transform does not exist. Like that, you have to type. S plane represents y like this. Okay. Properties of Laplace transform. These properties of Laplace transform we will discuss in the next video lecture. Thank you.